from here, and I gave him the number to call in. He mentioned that his phone was like about to die. So I,
Hello, Nat.
hey Nan, how you doing, baby?
Hey, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I see you. Look at you, red.
Yes, I went
Okay.
on. No, I went
Oh,
on.
that orange. Okay. Okay. All right. So time to change it, but you see, I went back to my old style, cause you know, cousin, you ain't say you like my hair either. You like my hair? Oh, you ain't
You've
got
been
no.
talking since we got on this phone, and you're gonna ask me if I like it.
Oh no, you didn't. First of all, you could have been like, just like, oh, the weather is great out here, and
Hold
oh, I
on.
like your hair, Lady P. I'm just saying. I'm
Okay,
just
next
saying.
time I'm just gonna cut you off halfway in your sentence.
No, you could have said it when you were answering my question. See, you so, ooh, I swear, cuz, I
Hold
swear,
on. I'm
I
trying to
swear.
get in. Hold on.
I'm trying to share. Oh, let me go live on Be Live. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let us get started. I'm trying to put my phone so that hopefully I can see the comments as they come through. Okay, so, oh, maybe it'll help if I start recording us, huh? Would that help?
Probably. Okay.
Alright.
All right, let me. Hey guys, it's radio host Lady P, and I've got cousin
Cousin
Howard with
Howard.
me. He's so late, I had to say his name first. He should have been ready to jump in. Ain't cousin Howard, but anyway, this is the new relationship show. We are at the portion where we do the world famous Battle of the Sexes, and we've got our Team Pink contestant, and she has gone orange for the occasion. And she is ready to spank some behinds because cousin be talking so much junk. Now, then
But we
unfortunately,
hope to do that.
I ain't talking junk. I just speak fact. What
so
you said, Nat?
anyway,
I said we hope to win.
oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. So anyway, we're supposed
I
to.
gotta wait for my guy to call in, but then again he came via Lady P, so it's just
Well, you
you gotta play it out.
okay, cousin. So if your little punk friends weren't punks and they called in to support you, you wouldn't have to worry about me trying to find someone for your team to call in. Because I'm trying to help you out. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying.
Alright.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, I don't know what the weather's like up there in Detroit, but it's been brutally hot
We've
down
had a
here.
nice weekend.
Really, it was when I left church today, it was 98 degrees. And the heat index had to be over 100.
70 here.
So it's very warm
No, we
right
had
now.
high
69
70s.
now.
Yeah,
So
right
we
now I
make
think
it to 80.
it's about 86 now that it's getting dark and the sun is going down. So, um, and unfortunately, I'm trying to think where I have his number. Cousin, I gave him the number. I asked him to call the number at 8 o'clock. So, I don't know what to say. I
You
think that we
told him 8
just,
o'clock tonight, right?
yes, I told him the show was at 8 o'clock tonight. And I gave him the number and asked him to call in. So I'm thinking that maybe we should go ahead and start with our Team Pink questions.
Okay, you got to help me out because I'm not in front of my computer.
Oh my Jesus!
I'm actually,
So now
I'm
after
actually
all
just
the stuff
pulling
you're
up at the
talking,
house.
all the stuff that you're talking, I've got to help you with your questions as well. I got to find you your Team Blue participant. What else you need me to do for you? I'm just asking. Oh, look, he's frozen too,
If
man.
you would keep talking for 5 minutes, I will be at my computer.
Oh, will your sound be better? Because we're having some latency issues with your sound. So maybe when you get inside, it's going to take you 5 minutes to get inside. Jesus, how far are you parked from where you're going? I'm just asking.
I'm parked downstairs and I got to go
Okay.
upstairs.
So I would think that that would be poor preparation. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying. What do you think, man? I think we probably are gonna win just based on that. They seem rather unprepared. So, well, maybe while we're waiting for you to get situated, we can Fernanda and I can talk about the first topic since you got to get yourself situated. How does that work for you? 'Cause I didn't hear you. Did he say okay? We're gonna go with that is what?
Didn't hear him.
That's good.
That's good. Okay. So, man, actually, I'm gonna pick one of these topics, and I'm gonna pick our second topic. He doesn't know because he's not in front of his computer anyway, so I can do it in any order. So the topic is this, and it's to women. So as you and I are both women, I think it's applicable. Women, how do you feel about a man if he asks to borrow money? That's the question. That's the topic. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Okay. It's okay, depending on, I'm assuming this is a boyfriend or somebody close.
I
It's
would,
okay.
I would
Yeah,
think,
because, yeah, okay. It's okay sometimes, but as long as it's not out of your budget and you can do it, if you're working as a team and this is household money, I don't think it should be made a habit. And if you're working together, I see no problem with it.
well,
And
that's in the case of a joint household. Let's say this is somebody that you're seeing, you're not in a joint household. So you both have separate households, you both have your separate bills and different things to deal with, and you're both.
okay.
So at that point, would it kind of change how you feel about him or how you look at him if he asked you to borrow money? How would you feel about him? Because that's what the topic is.
Mm, it probably would. Especially if it's, I was gonna say maybe if it's big amounts, large amounts where you can't, if you don't have it, then you don't have it to give. I don't think you should ever overstretch your budget because then you could fall behind. Is there a serious reason as to why he is asking to borrow this money? And, when people ask to borrow,
Oh, I just lost you.
What do you mean you lost her?
She dropped off. I'm not seeing her. I think she dropped off the broadcast. She's got to rejoin us. Did you hear the topic?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I was talking to a couple of people here about that,
Mm-hmm.
and they said it depends, and kind of the same thing that man said. It depends on the stage of the relationship,
Okay, can you hear me now?
and
Yeah,
Okay.
you had dropped off. Mm-hmm. It depends on the stage of the relationship. What does that mean, cousin?
if you just started, it's no.
Okay,
But
we're
if you've
having
been,
issues with your sound. Mm-hmm.
hold on, I'm
So,
looking
so
for my hardwired headset. I found it the other day, and I can't find it now. I know I brought it with me.
okay. So my thoughts on it, I guess, are probably different than both of your thoughts. But me
Right. I didn't know how
personally,
much of mine you heard because that dropped.
yeah, I heard you say it depends on kind of the same thing cousin was saying. It depends on how long
The
y'all have been
stage, right.
Stage of the
together,
relationship.
the stage of the relationship. Well, my take is this, and me personally, I make it a point to never lend because that's the way to ruin friendships. If I have extra, I'll give. Because what I find a lot of times is that when you lend somebody money, it's
You don't get it back.
you don't get it back. And if you're expecting to get it back, then you end up falling out and you're not friends anymore. So I make it a point not to lend. If I have extra and I'm
Don't
able
give
to,
what you can't afford to lose.
right, right. But in the case of a man asking to borrow money, my thought on it is I, for the most, I'm trying to think, have I ever, no, I've never asked anyone that I've been with to borrow money. And I feel like that's something that shows, I mean, I understand things come up, true, they do. However, I guess it depends on if it's something that's a habit, if it's habitual, that, this person that you've gotten into a relationship with is showing themselves to be not good with money,
Financially smart.
not good with managing their budget, and constantly coming to, because like in the case of me where if I have extra I'll give. Well, you're looking at, oh well, she should have extra, she doing good, and then constantly, hey, can I get this, can I get, then then yeah, I do start looking at you differently because I'm like, I'm not asking you, because I guess it could go both ways. I'm not constantly
Right.
saying, hey babe, can I borrow? Hey babe, can I borrow? I'm not. So if I'm not doing it, why is it that, and for women, it's a touchy thing because there's a new generation of guys out there, and I don't know where these guys are coming from. I don't know what example they started with. I'm just saying. But, this new generation of folks is like they lay up there and looking for you to take care of them. And I don't feel like anyone should be taking care of anyone in a relationship. It should be something that both parties are building together. And if it's not, like if it's a case of, maybe in the relationship, you guys have young kids and it's a decision who's going to stay, that's something totally different than as mature adults past the childbearing age. You've got one that's constantly, hey, can I, I'm just saying.
I think
What?
it goes both ways as far as a male or female always asking. No guy wants a female asking him for money all the time. And the
That's
same
true.
can go for women.
But it just seems like, and I think the reason this ended up being a topic is because you're seeing more and more of this new generation of men folk coming up where they are looking for somebody to take care of them. And, I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine probably 10 years back. Really, cousin, can you mute? Like 10 years back. And he was telling me how the reason that he felt, and he was a man, but the reason he felt that, these guys were out there the way that they are is that they grew up with that generation grew up with single mothers. And so they were used to seeing their mothers take care of everything. So then they were looking for a woman that was going to step into that role rather than them understanding, what the role of the man is. And then it gets skewed because then they want to come with, okay, I'm the man, you got to do what I say, blah, blah, blah. But then you not taking, what you doing? I'm just saying. That's just my thoughts. And I can be
Okay.
somewhat opinionated on it. But I mean, honestly, I feel like it should be a partnership, and everyone should pull their weight, however that is, and it that's how it should be. And I just personally, I feel like the topic came
Right.
up
It should be a partnership.
because you have a lot of guys that are, trying to see how a woman is set up and see, they looking for help. They ain't looking for things. Cousin, I know you a guy, but I'm just saying this new generation of men folk, they just be on that I don't even know what to call it, but that's my thought on that. So, cuz let me see if I can reach out to this guy and see, because right now, looking at the time, we're like, we would have been done with that segment of the
Yeah.
show. Because what we may have to do is, we may have to not do the Battle of the Sexes tonight and come back next week, and whoever wins next week takes the month since we're tied. But let me see if I can reach him. So you guys talk about the topic. Let me see if I can reach him. Nope.
Uh,
So his phone just died.
I'm with you on that, man, because I don't, I was brought up to never lend money that you're gonna need next week, next month, next year.
Right.
So with me, based on the way I was brought up, I don't lend money. And you're right, I hate with a passion that any woman that whether I've been dating for a minute or I just started dating and all they want to do is come at me and like, could you let me borrow this and let me borrow that and help me with this and help me with that. That ain't gonna work for me. Okay?
And cousin, to your point with not lending, the whole thing is, what if you do have it? So then now you have to be concerned that you have it, so this person knows that you have, like, maybe they see how you set up, see how you live, and so they figure, now they're like, oh, can I get this, can you do that, over and over and over again. And as a woman, that would definitely cause me to think a certain way or a different way about a man
It could
that
be a
I'm
turn off.
seeing, a big one, because it's like, if I'm not asking you, why do you think that it's okay? And people in general do that. You know, they, yeah, in general, and I think that's, horrible. They're like, oh, look at your house, look at your car, look at this, look at that. Oh, can I borrow so and so? Okay, so if you were really grown and an adult, what you would realize is, if my house or my vehicle looks a certain way, that means that my bills look a certain way. It's not that I
Right.
have,
I may have
it's
enough
that
money just to pay what I have.
I have more bills. So, that doesn't mean that I have extra just because you think that my house or my vehicle looks like whatever. That means that I have more bills, and maybe I need to be borrowing money. You understand what I'm saying? But, folks who aren't in that situation, then they just, and that's something that's like a pet peeve for me because it's like you don't know what my bills are. You don't know what I'm left with at the end of the month. You just assume because you see where I live, what I drive, that I have it. Why would you think that? What would make you think that? You know, so and for that to come from a guy that's trying to get into a relationship with me or something like that, I'm hearing something. What am I hearing? Are you hearing it
I
too?
don't know. I'm on mute, so or everything else is down.
Okay, I'm not sure what it was. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that. Cousin, I believe that what we're gonna do with the Battle of the Sexes is we're gonna push it to next week, and whichever team wins next week. Now, are you going to be available next? Because that's Carnival.
Uh, yeah, I doubt that.
Oh, so then that means that we should just call it for Team Pink then. Because if you don't
Really?
have a team, I'm just
Really?
saying, you don't have, we're not doing a show next week. You don't have a Team Blue participant. What would you have us do? Team Pink is here and ready to go. I'm just saying.
Win by default.
I'm hearing noise in your background, cuz I need you to mute because I'm hearing a lot of whatever's in the background by you. It's coming through on the radio. So, okay. Um, so that's, I mean, what would you have us do? Because I'm just saying.
Next weekend. Oh, that is last weekend.
Right, next weekend is the last weekend. So right now we're tied 1-1. We don't have a team blue. So you would say that you forfeit and Team Pink takes the week. We take the month, right? Fair is fair.
That's how they gonna
You
do
know
it.
what? You
Nobody's
know
giving
what?
it up.
I tried to get you. I mean, I tried.
You got some little body from your peanut gallery, and they not calling in and no, that's fine. I'll suffer the
Well, the
consequence.
whole thing, cousin. What you could have did was you could have tried maybe reaching out to Jamie and trying to see if you could catch somebody to take your questions for you. I tried to find somebody and I was unable to. Unfortunately, any of y'all on live got me? Any guys want to call cousin Howard out play the battle? Let me know. I'll let you know the number to call in. If not, they're gonna forfeit the week and the month. Sorry, just saying. So if you have anyone your live friends you want to text and see if they want to try to help you out. I can't reach the person I had found for you. So I'm just saying. So then we're gonna, so how about we just do the topics together and we're gonna call it for Team Pink if so. All right. So wait, let me get my thing ready for Team Pink. Wait, hold up, cause I got a new one. Where is it? I have, cause all my you got
Hold
somebody
on.
now? What you got?
I ain't got nobody yet, but let's do
What?
the next couple of topics.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't find nobody by then I would gracefully
Okay.
concede.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
then I'll call back in. So, but I'll keep listening.
Well, do you want to hear the other two? You want to do the other two topics with us while we see what cousin
Um,
Howard can do?
nope, I'll listen, but then I'll call right back in. I'll keep it
Okay.
on mute.
All right, honey.
All
Okay.
Okay.
right.
Okay, so cousin, the next topic is, should a woman take out the trash if she has a whole man? I repeat, a whole man at home.
Okay. For this right here,
I
I
want
got
you to finger all in the, okay, go ahead. Finger all
for
in the
this
screen. Uh-huh.
for this right here, I got a couple questions because I spoke to a couple people.
You got a
If you
couple
should,
questions about the
yeah,
question? What
yeah,
questions you got?
because a couple of people
Uh-huh.
You know, a couple of women that I spoke with, they like, if I got to take out the trash and got a whole man at the house, then he got to kick rocks. And a couple of the guys, they like, you know, women want to be respected and be equal in the household, you know, so why should I be the only one taking out the trash?
Are
Ain't
they
nothing
doing the
wrong with
stuff inside? Hold up. They doing the stuff inside? Because they expect the woman to cook, clean, and all the stuff inside. Are they doing that stuff? To keep it equal, I'm just asking. Those fellas that you talked to, did you ask them that question?
if
Did,
you
did
let me finish, you'll find out,
Go ahead, cousin. Finish.
right? Because that's the same question I asked them. I said, so do you cook? Do you wash? Or you just sit, go home and cock your foot up and say,
Not just,
you
what
know,
about clean? Wash clothes, but cleaning the house. Cleaning the house.
some of
Cooking.
them said that they do household chores.
Which are what?
They
What are their chores?
they didn't defy what the chores were, even when I
I
asked.
give my kids chores. I mean,
Okay?
so,
I understand that. I understand that. And I got a couple of them listening, and I told them, I'm not going to call y'all names, right? But the women that said if they got a man at home and he's not taking out the trash, he got to kick rocks. The fellas said it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be. I did it last night, so you got to do it tonight. It's whosoever go in the kitchen and see the trash full, take it out. Okay? Now I understand that, and that's fair to a certain extent, right? Because some of the fellows that I spoke with, they will not, if they know that trash is full in the kitchen or wherever they keep it, they will not go in there. And that is not
Lima
fair.
beans, and I hope y'all hear me calling y'all that too. Seriously. So because with the trash here, I have three boys, and my kids take the trash out, and I have to tell them, they're not gonna see it overflowing and say, "Oh, let me take the trash out for mommy." No, I have to be like, "Hey, take this trash out."
I
But with a grown behind man, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to say, "Hey, baby, could you take the trash out?" Why should I have to? If you see it that it's full, come on now. I'm just saying.
because this is the same as like if you both working and you get home first and you like, well, I cooked for him last night, so I ain't cooking tonight. It shouldn't be like that. If you get home
Okay.
first,
So
start
how
it.
about okay? So how about you both working and he feel
That's what
like
I just said.
no. Okay, so you both working and he doesn't plan on cooking ever. It don't matter who cooked last night. He feel like that's your job as the woman to cook. Now
I,
I will.
me
Now
personally,
what I will say is that I, when I was growing up, I had to cut the grass. Me and my sisters, because we ain't had no brothers. And that's one thing I refuse to do. I am not cutting the grass. I don't care. So I have lawn service, and I've yet to be with someone that says, okay, let's get rid of the lawn service and I'll just cut the grass. But I'm not doing it. I'm just saying. Hey, Big
see,
Papa, how you
that's
doing? I'm just saying. I mean, I've taken the trash down to the curb because it has to be out a certain time in the morning, and I get up and it never got taken out, so I'll take it on my way out to work. It's asleep and that's fine. But like I said, if there's a grown behind man in this house, which there isn't right now, it's just me and the kids, so it's a little bit different. I don't feel like I should be the one taking the trash out when I'm cooking, I'm cleaning the house, I'm washing the clothes. What the heck you doing? Cause that
I
other
understand
stuff
what
don't count. I'm just saying. That that's not, that doesn't count in that. And
I,
I'm like this. If you gonna cook, if we both cooking, even if I cook more than you, that's fine. But I'm not gonna be where we both go to work. I come home, I gotta cook, I gotta make sure wash the dishes behind, because after you cook, you got 50 billion dishes. I gotta do all that, and I gotta take the trash out like I'm a single woman. Then should I be a single woman? If I'm doing,
I
I'm
I
just,
I understand, and I am with
what are you
any.
doing? Why are you, I mean, you taking up air? I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying, and I what's the right word I'm looking for? I respect any woman that is doing it by themselves, and I understand if you got a whole man, whether he be your spouse, your whatever you want to call him, and he's too lazy to take out the trash, then you know.
Then what?
It's like my friend here with me right now. She said, then she ain't gonna give up none because if you're too lazy to take the trash, you
Right?
ain't gonna get
Then
none.
you must be too tired for anything else, so you need to take it behind, go on to sleep. Cause ain't nothing else going on. If I gotta do all of that, I got a toy for that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Uh, so we had a comment on the Facebook Live that said, I lived in a house with all sisters, so we did all the stuff like kitchen, etc. I had to do chores, and even now that I'm married, I have no issue taking out the trash and cutting the grass. Well, I guess the thing is, it's not even about the taking out the trash per se. It's about the attitude towards doing certain things in the household, where
I'm with you on that.
it because like I said, it's just me and the kids, and I get them to take it out. Because like sometimes I just take it because I don't feel like being like, please, I'm tired of talking to them about doing it. I'll just go ahead and do it. But I'm just saying, if I'm doing all of that stuff, then what is your role in the household? Because I know your role is not just rolling up on somebody. That's not in. I don't see that in anybody's job description unless you a gigolo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because outside of that, if it is two adults in a household, things need to be shared. Maybe that's something that needs to be discussed. Maybe the household you grew up in, your mother always did all the stuff, the father wasn't around. But in this household, we're not fit to do all of that. I'm just saying.
I feel you on that, and I'm with any woman that will get up and she says she cut the grass. That's cool. You can do that, but I'm a firm believer. If you're the man of the house, there's certain things that falls under the man of the house, just like there's certain things that fall under the woman of the house. Right? But it's not. There's no law written that it's just the man should cut the grass and take out the trash, or the woman should do all the cooking and the cleaning. It should be a joint thing. Maybe I'm wrong. And fellas, if you all get pissed at me for that, upset at me for that, that's on y'all, not on me. Because I know when when I was married, it's who got home first. Start the cooking. It's who got
What
up
about
first in the morning.
what about the lawn?
I didn't have a lawn.
If you had
You
a
know,
lawn,
if I had a lawn,
tell the truth. Tell the
if
truth,
I
cousin.
if I had a lawn, I would mow the lawn. It's no sweat off of my back.
Well,
You
I tell
know,
you what, I would never because it's too blasted hot over here. I'm just saying.
it's
when the
I'm
boys
I'm
when my
I'm a
sons get
Cali
big
boy.
enough, I'm gonna have them cut the grass. But for now, I have lawn service because I'm not going to do that. That's just, and it's just, I mean, it is what it is. If I couldn't afford lawn service, I wouldn't have a choice. I would have to do it. So I thank God that I'm able to have someone come cut the grass till the boys get big enough to take over that. Because I want them to know how to do that. I don't want them to see me doing stuff and thinking that's how it's supposed to be. That's why I have them taking out the trash and doing all that stuff from now so that when they become adults, they're not the kind of dude that just sits back and tries to have the woman do everything. I want them to learn how to cook, clean, do all the things that, you know, they claim stereotypically is for a woman to do. I want them to be able to do all of that stuff. Um, yeah,
I mean, I
and wait,
understand
we
that.
have another comment. She said, if I have a male over the head, he will do it for the most part. I taught my son and two girls how to do it. Okay, yeah, like I said, I know how to cut the grass because we grew up, and of course, my parents had them big behind corner lot. It took 2 hours, okay, to cut that blasted grass. 1 hour for the front, 1 hour for the back, and we split it, my oldest sister and I. And I'm like, yeah, it was a whole, not like the grass they got down here. I could probably get it done in a half hour if I had to cut it, but I just had flashback to them days when all my little friends that had brothers would walk by laughing because I was cutting the grass. So now as an adult, that's
They
something I'm not. I'm just saying it's flashback, and I just can't. I'm just saying that's just
they
me.
weren't men because why would they walk by and laugh and tease?
My little friends, no, female friends. I was at the
Oh,
kitchen.
you said they're brothers.
No. They had brothers to cut their grass. So they walked by and they laughed because they saw me and my sister cutting the grass because we ain't had no brothers. So we had to so we had to not only cut the grass, but we had to do the stuff inside the house. We had to do everything.
Hmm.
So it's just something that I said growing up I wouldn't do. As far as the trash, I mean, I have my boys to do it, but like I said, if there was an adult male, I don't think I probably would be like, "Hey, babe, take out the trash." I wouldn't even be like, "Oh, I'm mad because he didn't do it and I'm gonna do it myself." Nope. Hey, babe, you forgot the trash. Can you please take the trash out? I'll ask her to get on his nerve. I'm not gonna take the trash out. I'm just saying. So, anyway, our next topic, cousin. How much?
Yeah,
You ready for it?
yeah.
Sound like you getting distracted by I don't know, but you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm with you. And stop trying to put me under the bus.
You really don't want me to put you under the bus. Don't play with me. Okay? I'm being very nice. You want to keep that. So, anyway, our
No,
last
not for
topic.
my sake, but for God's sake.
Okay. So, our last topic is this. Um, how much should you reveal about yourself to a new dating partner? Let's say it's one you've been dating for less than 6 months. How much should you share with them? Should you share health issues with them? Should you share how many baby mamas or baby daddies you may have? Should you share financial problems? Should you share if you're making a lot of money, if you're like making six figures? How much should you reveal to someone that you've been dating less than 6 months? What are your thoughts?
Less than 6 months, I'll keep it to a minimum. In the sense of like, if I got like health issues, I'll let you know. But for the simple fact, because if we out on a date and something, God forbid, something should happen, I want you to know at least what to tell the paramedics.
Mm.
Right? But as far as how much money I make or how many, like you said, baby mamas or sexual partners I've had, nah, that will come down the road. You
I
don't
don't
need to
think
know all
sexual
of it.
partners should ever come up. I'm just
You
saying.
got a lot of people that ask that question though.
Really?
Yes.
So they ask how many people have you been with before, and why would you ask that? Because you know somebody gonna lie. Nobody gonna tell you the truth. I'm just
That's
saying.
true. That's
So what's
true.
the so what would be the point of asking?
Because
Really?
some people are nosy like that. Some people they meet you today and they want to know what
Or
you've been
maybe they
doing
want to
since.
know if you can, you know, if it's a
Well,
possibility that you're able to um take care of business. And if you only had one prior person who you met them when you were 12 and you got married and you've been married for 50 years, I'm just saying, then it's possible that you might pay. I'm just saying. So that could be the reason why. And the thing that's interesting is that even with multiple partners, that doesn't necessarily mean that you know what you're
That you're
doing
good.
because they could have lied to you, or it could have been every time it got to that point. After that, they broke up with you. So the reason you had them
Exactly.
was
So
because
if
you
you got,
were good
if
at it.
you lie, they don't know, one, if you lying. Two,
True.
if you tell the truth, they don't know if it's the truth. What they gonna do? Ask you for name and addresses of all your past?
Now, what I would say is that what you should do, and this is just for safety first, because of all the things that's out there, is prior to taking a relationship to an intimate level, I think
Go
that
get
both
tested.
parties need to get tested and go together or be ready to share your results because there's a lot of stuff, and especially I don't know in other places, but apparently in South Florida, in the African American community, it's really crazy. Um, so I would recommend highly that you would go and get tested. If you don't want to go with the person, you carry your results to let them know that show that it's a recent um, testing and that you're okay prior to having any intimate relations, I would say.
And I'm for that, because it don't matter if I had one or 1,000. Eh? And if I had one, it doesn't mean I'm no good. If I had 1,000, it doesn't mean I'm good. So the amount of partners I've had, or the amount of baby mamas I've had, it doesn't matter. Eh? Because no two people are alike in no way, shape, or form. Eh?
Because
So
actually, the thing about it is, sorry to interrupt you, there's a thing that's called chemistry. And if you don't have chemistry with someone, it's not going to be good, even if you are good at what you do, or you know what I'm saying? It's still, if the chemistry is not there, it's, it's, it's just not going to be good. I'm just saying. And,
true.
you know, that's, that's, that's the thing. As far as the income, I remember, I won't say dating, I was having conversations with this guy, and he kept asking certain questions, like, are you renting or do you own your home? Oh wow, how can you afford to live there? Is your job, does it pay pretty well? And I'm thinking, okay, first of all, why, because I asked, I'm like, why did you ask me if I had a mortgage? Oh, because I just know that rent down there is really high where you live. Oh, really? Okay.
See,
So,
for me,
but it was like that
that
kind of stuff. I'm like, why are you trying to find, what is the point? Bottom line is this. If I'm not asking you to help me do anything, what my situation is, it really shouldn't be your concern unless it is that you have an ulterior motive and you're trying to figure out if I'm one, like we go back to the other topic, that you feel like you can ask to borrow money from. Because
exactly. 'Cause
unfortunately, with this new generation of dudes that's out there, it's a lot of folks that's looking for help. They're trying to see, how
how they could come up.
how women are set up to see if this is someone that can help them, And it used to be back in the day, they had the term, I don't know what they called it where you were, but in Detroit, they called them sack chasers, which were the women that were after dudes that they thought had money. I don't know what the heck they call these dudes, because basically that's what they are. They
Yeah.
are,
Unfortunately, you got people on both sides of the fence like that. You know, they want to
Well,
know,
but
well, man,
back in the day, it used to be, it used primarily when you heard a gold digger or anything like that, it was referring to a woman. But now, honestly, I would have to say that things have changed and it's really men that's out there for real, for real, for real. And it's like, it's bad. I mean, and they have no shame. There's no shame to their game at all whatsoever. And I'm just saying. You agree? Or do you have me muted and you can't talk because you're carrying on the
yeah.
side conversation?
No, I'm listening to you. So, like I said, stop trying to throw me under the bus.
But anybody that's watching the live stream can see that you carrying on the side conversation and you ain't paying attention to what I'm saying or the show.
That's what you wish would happen, huh? Give you something to park
I
the
don't
bus on
have to
top of
wish.
me and
That's what I'm looking at you on my screen, and that's what I'm seeing. So I'm just saying.
anyway, I agree with you because I've had people in the past, you know, I'm always coming to California for different business and stuff like that. And
Mm.
my thing is, when I travel, when I come, whether it's here in California, it's New York, it's Atlanta, you know, I always mix business with pleasure. I always go to a state where I got somebody like a close friend I ain't seen in a minute, or here in California where my girls are, or you know, people, and I have businesses in those states. But a lot of people look at me and they like, well, what do you do? I work. Do you own where you live? Why? What differences
What do
make
you
if
mean?
I own or
What
rent?
people? What do you mean?
Because you run into people that, and from my standpoint, I honestly believe if you're asking me if I own or rent or
Oh, you
what do
talking
I
about
do
people
for a
that
living,
are dating or that are wanting to date you? Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Okay, got you.
stay with me, stay with me.
I know you
You
ain't
know,
trying to be her right now. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. You better thank Jesus for saving you right now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, cousin. Yeah, I'm glad you laughing. Uh-huh. So, you were saying.
but anyway, you know, because for me, a woman can get the world from me, but if you ask me for a penny, you just got cut. Because if you ask for a penny today, tomorrow you want $1,000, the following day you want 10 grand. Next thing you took at me and could you pay off my house? No, I can't. I don't live there. They,
So
you know,
what if,
even if
okay, wait, what if you live together and then you find that this person is constantly short for what they need and they're asking you to make up the slack and it's all this stuff going on. So it's not new per se, but then you have to like be like, how did I get into this situation? What happened? Because I know that I said that I wasn't going to be doing anything like this. So how did we go from you taking care of your stuff to all of a sudden now we're living together and it's like, hey, can you take care of this? Can you take care of that? Can I hold, X amount? How did that
no,
happen? It's like, did the
because
person have an agenda? Did they plan it? Did they figure they gonna wait till, now we're in a situation where we've been together X amount of time and we're staying together. So now I'm gonna start asking for this and that. You know, they say, I would have to be working hard if I didn't have you. I'm sorry, what? What does that mean? If you didn't have me, what am I? Your financier? I'm just
you
asking.
see
I'm I'm just asking
that
because
with me, even if we live together, that's why I always say there's your account, there's my account, and then there's a house account.
right.
So if we argument's sake, we putting $100 every week into the house account. That's to pay the bills in the house. Nick, I don't care about your credit cards or whatever other bills you got. That's on you. That's why you got your account. Nick, I got my account because if I want to travel, I don't have to come at you and say, baby, can I get X amount of money because I want to go to California or I want to go to New York on a business venture. You know, I could just tell you, baby, I'm going to LA or I'm going to New York or I'm going to Detroit such and such a day. This is the business I'm going to go conduct. I will tell you what I'm going there to do. But nowhere in that conversation, I'm going to tell you, man, I need $1,000 out of the house account. No, because it's not the house that want to go to New York. It's me. It's me that want to go there to do business. So I can't go to you and say I need X amount out the house money. Neither can you come at me and say you need X amount out the house money. Because, and even if you take it and think that I won't find out, once I find out, I better find out when you put it back. Because if I find out before you put it back, I'll be royally ticked off. Because you can't do that to me. You can't just go take money out the house money and say he won't know. Yes, he will. Because the same way you check in the house account, I'm checking the house account. To make sure that nothing comes up short or missing from it.
We have another
Nick?
comment. If they can't manage money, then ask if I can help take over their bills and help them.
No, why should I? You're not a kid. Nick? If you were a kid, if you were still underage, and I still had to be looking out for you and tell you, okay, here's your allowance. Don't spend it all in one place. You know you got XYZ to pay for by next week, so make sure you got that money set aside. No, we are grown folks. You're a grown woman, I'm a grown man. Why should I have to teach you how to manage your money?
But see, these are things that you kind of need to know before you decide um, if you're going to move forward with a person, because those things really stem to your core values. Your core values determine how responsible you are financially, how much you're able to budget or not. If you find someone that you're not aligned with as far as those things, you're gonna have problems. So those are kind of things that should come up, not necessarily what you make, because that really is neither here nor there, because your bills are determined on what you have left at the end of the month. But it's how you manage your funds. Are you able to adequately manage your funds? And if you're not, if you're a spendthrift and you can't handle, your stuff, and you're always like looking for payday loans and things like that to stretch you because you're living outside your means, then you're probably not the right person for someone who is used to having a budget, sticking to a budget, managing their finances adequately. And so, yes, there are some people that aren't good with money, but yeah, prior to you deciding that you want this to be a serious relationship, you have to know that, because that's something that's gonna be that's gonna affect your long-term relationship. Because honestly, in looking at marriages, 64% of divorces come down to financial issues. And that's
That's
over
true.
half, and that's because of not being financially matched. And, a lot of people say, well, it shouldn't matter, but yeah, that stuff really matters. When you start having kids, you start talking about college and their future and different things you need for them. If you're not one that manages your money, you don't have a rainy day cushion, but then you decide to venture into home ownership, understand that when you own a home, you can no longer call the landlord because the AC broke, because the water heater went.
Exactly.
All those things are your responsibility. So that's a totally different situation than someone who has a landlord. So if you have someone that's got I've always had a landlord mentality, and you guys go into getting this home, and they budget down to the last cent. I got 5 cents left in my bank account after I pay my bills. That's a problem, and that's gonna be a problem in the future. So those are the kind of things that you kind of need to sort out earlier rather than later. I think before you get too committed, because a lot of problems is people get into this emotional thing and they're in love and they love this person, and they tend to, because of those emotions, overlook some flags, and those are big flags that are going to cause problems in the future. So that's something that in the early stages need to, some kind of way come into, not just straight up, well, do you pay your bills on time? What's your credit score? But I had a friend who actually went through premarital training, and as part, or premarital training, premarital something, counseling. And during that counseling, and I've never heard of that, but they, the pastor had them each pull their credit report and share it with each other. And personally, I feel like that kind of information should be done way before you're at the point of planning the wedding. Because
That's true.
if you got a 350 credit score and I got an 850, we have a problem. I'm just saying. You know
Or
what
you
I
can look
mean?
at it, or you can look at it together. You got 1,200.
But you know what I'm saying? Because then, we decide to come into a union, and now because I married you, now I'm responsible for you. I'm just saying, you have to just be on the same page with certain things, and it can't just be something that's said, unfortunately, because people have learned to say things that they think other people want to hear. So,
That's
I've heard the term actions speak louder than words, but it's like a step beyond the actions. It's what's your pattern? What is your pattern of behavior? Because you can, do an action but so long. I was married to someone who, for about 3 months, could fake the funk. They couldn't do it past 3 months was the cutoff. So anything that we discussed, and we need to change and this needs to happen, for 3 months it happened. Then we went one day past the 3 months and we were right back to where we were before. So you need to kind of look at, you know, truly, before you decide if this person is a life partner.
that's
So
true.
I think we went way off topic, and I think it was my fault. So I apologize. But now, at this point, it's already 9 o'clock. We're ready to go into our letter. So, cousin, I think we're gonna call it before we go into the letter. We're gonna call it for Team Pink. Team Pink has taken the month. Wait, we need some more volume on that.
Happy?
Um, I'm, I feel, wait, let me see. Somewhat, yes, I am. But I mean, I tried, cousin. I did. I asked several people. The last person that I gave him the number. I told him what time he left from here, and I'm like, okay, you need to be there by 8 o'clock so you can call, plug your phone. Okay, I will call. And I mean, I tried. I did. He wasn't the first person I asked. I did try. So I'm I'm sorry that we won on a technicality, but we won. So we're gonna move past that, and we're gonna go into our advice letter, and we're gonna finish it off. And when we come back in July, we'll see, what Team Blue can do, and I'll be rooting for you. Okay?
Really?
Really?
Okay, if you say so.
I'll be rooting for you. So let's go into our letter. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So the letter goes like this. Dear Lady P, I have reached the point in my life where I think I'm ready to settle down and get married. I'm divorced with 2 children. I've been dating someone casually and he wants to take it further, but honestly, there are no fireworks. Am I wrong
That's
to
not
want
good.
passion and fireworks in a relationship before I make a commitment? He's a good guy and very calm and collected. What should I do? Sign. Am I asking for TV love that doesn't exist in real life? You take that first, cousin.
No, she's not. Because I'm like that. I don't necessarily call it TV love, but I consider myself to be a very romantic guy in the sense of like, if I'm with a woman, I want to do everything physically, sexually, everything else that goes with it to that woman. To show my love and appreciation. I like the touchy feely type.
So
And
like what Jamie says, hugging, touching, rubbing, kissing, all of that.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's why I think that's why me and him get along because we on the same page when it comes to relationship. But you got a lot of not just women, a lot of men out there is like they don't know how to treat that woman the way that woman deserves to be treated. And like I said, I don't call it TV love because if you love somebody, me personally, if I go to work for 8 hours and come back home, all I could think about on that freeway is getting you back in my arms when I walk in the door. Right?
That's because you
So
always
even
want sex.
what?
Nothing.
No, repeat what you said.
I said that's because you always want sex.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it because I love it, you know. And the only thing I love more than that is more of that. Nick,
We
but
know.
what I mean? If you got somebody for the love of God, if you know, I ain't got nothing against because I've talked to people that been with Minuteman or been with a log that when I say a log, the woman just lay there, don't do nothing. And then I got men that just after 20, 30 seconds, that's it. But if you treat that woman like a queen, she may, I'm not saying she will, she may consider going with you to get help in the sense of like go to the therapist with you and not every woman is going to do that. But you got some woman that would stick with you, but you cannot walk in and they decide to give you some and you roll over and go to sleep, get up next morning like nothing happened, like she's some cheap so and so you picked up on the street. You can't do that to a woman. The same way a woman cannot do that to a man. Right? If you want communication is the key. If you want the storybook ending love and the movie, TV, Hollywood love and stuff, then you got to sit down and talk to your spouse. Look, baby, I don't like it this way, and I think you finished too quick, or you just lay there, and that's not exciting for me. And but if you don't talk, you won't know. You won't know. You end up getting frustrated. You end up with a quote unquote work husband or work wife because you start telling that person your personal business at home, and you don't know what that person going through. That person could have had the hots for you for as long as you've been working together, and they figure opportunity just struck and try to come off on the tip of like, I'll be your friend, I'll be your shoulder to cry on whenever you need. You want to vent, come see me. I'll take you to lunch and you can vent on me. No, they looking to get some. Right? So my thing is, if you're about to take this to the next level, sit down and talk to your spouse. Tell him, you know what, baby? what you've been doing is not working for me. So let's take care of this as a couple. Let's go to the doctor. Let's go to wherever we got to go to, but let's do it together. See? Don't keep the person hanging on and you know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You understand me?
Hmm. Well, when I looked at this letter, it kind of put me in mind of the topic we had in the lounge last Monday, where we were talking about taking a relationship from casual to committed and how to have talk and what you would do if you felt like the other person may not be on the same page. So in the instance of this letter, it looks like they've been casually dating. I don't know what her definition of casual is, but maybe it's casual and it hasn't even gone to the point of having sex because there are no fireworks, because there's no chemistry. And honestly, if there's no chemistry, I
And
mean,
they both wasting
you're a
their
nice,
time.
he's a nice guy, he's a good guy, he's calm and collected. But if there's no chemistry, then you would be settling just because you want to get married. And he, unfortunately, he would be getting what he didn't bargain for. Because if he's the one that wants to take it to the next level, maybe he's feeling something that you're not. And so it's not really fair to him either. Let it go, let him find someone that he can have the chemistry with that you guys don't have. Yes, you're divorced, yes, you have two children, and you want to settle down and get married again, but honestly, I don't think this guy is your guy. And there is love that exists in real life. It's not TV because TV is not real, but there is such a thing as real love where there's passion, there's communication, there's commitment. There's the kind of relationship where you can't wait to get home to see one another, where you send each other silly messages all day. You can't wait for your break where you can call, and just hear the other person's voice. That exists. And, you know, honestly, you would be settling and you'd be doing this guy a disservice because he deserves someone who he has a connection with and
Exactly.
passion with. And if it's not there, it's not gonna come. I mean, honestly, once you put a guy into the friend zone, and it seems like that's what you did with this guy, you can't come out the friend zone. I remember, Jesus, years and years ago, it was this guy I met, and he liked me. I knew he liked me, but I didn't like him like that. But he was a nice guy, so I friend zoned him. And I thought it was a smooth transition. We were friends for a couple of years. He talked to me through different girls that he met and he dated. When he finally got engaged, I went with him to help out the ring, all this stuff. And then one day he just like went off on me and he was like, "You knew I liked you when I first met you." And I'm looking at him like, "Are you serious right now? This is like 3 years in. We've been friends for 3 years. I knew that you liked me, but I didn't like you like that. So, you know, I friend zoned you. I did. That's what I did." And honestly, 3 years in, friends talked about everything from A to Z. It was never going to change. It wasn't there. And in your case, it's not there. Don't do that to him. Let him find someone that he can connect with, and you wait. Don't settle because you're ready to get married because you've been divorced for X amount of time. Listen, life is short. There is someone out there that you will have that feeling with, that it'll be like night and day, and you'll be like, "I'm so glad I waited for this," honestly.
Mm.
Cause any other thoughts on that?
No, I'm with you on that, 'cause I know for a fact I don't want nobody to do that to me.
Hmm.
Don't stay with me because you scared of being by yourself or you think I'm a nice guy. 'Cause You would be
But
surprised
they
how
do
many
say nice
nice.
guys finish last, so that might.
Exactly.
I'm playing. I'm saying literally, and I'm just playing.
But I
I
mean, it's
put
like,
some humor in there. I'm just saying.
I know, but a lot of people, they don't get it. They will, he's good to me, he's good to my kids, and blah, 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 and rah, 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 and you stay with him, but you're not happy. See? And then you may get frustrated. It could be a week, it could be 10 years down the road. And this guy may think, man, my wife loved me, she never cheated. Come to find out, she been dealing with Joe Blow or John Paul behind your back. You go to work, he comes in, handle his business in your house, your bed.
Why you
See?
gotta say it all like that? Jesus.
But let's face reality here. It could happen. I know you're just saying.
Whatever. I'm just saying because.
You
But
can't.
yeah.
There's certain things that is not right to do.
Mm,
Right? If you're not feeling your significant other, cut them loose.
yeah.
You
I
know, cut
remember.
them.
It was a guy I was dating, and we were at um different stages in our life. He was quite a bit younger than me. And honestly, when I started dating him, it was because I didn't want anything serious. I had just gotten divorced and I didn't want anything serious. And I went to a wedding. He and I actually went to the wedding. And there was a song that was played. And when I heard the song, I was like, oh my God, this is not us. I got to break up with him. Because, like I said, he was the nicest guy ever. He really was. He was a good boyfriend, but like I said, he was a lot younger than I was. And when I heard that, I'm like, that's never going to be us because we're not at the same stage in our lives. And,
Yeah.
you know, I had to, it had to be done. And I don't think he fully understood why or what happened because he was like, you're the best girlfriend ever, that. So I don't think he truly understood, what it was. But I knew, when I heard the song, and I don't know what song, those wedding songs where they really talk about different things that you think about going forward and being committed to someone. And when I heard that, I'm like, this is not us. So, you know when that's the case. And honestly, for
Mhm.
yourself, um, I would say just wait. I mean, it's okay to be by yourself. You know, don't settle for something because what's gonna happen is down the line, that person that you should have waited for, he gonna show up, and then you'll be like, dang. Why did I marry this dude just because I wanted to be married and da 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 da? And then now you've gotten something complicated. You say you have 2 children. What if those children get real attached to your new husband, their stepfather? And then now here you come with the love of your life finally comes into your life and it's like now you're gonna just mess them up again, you know,
True. That's
when
true.
and then you're gonna really probably devastate him because maybe he thought you were the best thing since sliced cheese, you know, but he needs to find someone that thinks that he's the best thing since sliced
Exactly.
cheese as well, and it's not fair to him. And yeah, you can be by yourself. You don't have to be with someone. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people have. They don't want to be alone, so they settle.
Yep.
Don't do that. Don't. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to him. Just be patient.
Exactly.
Maybe the lesson that you need to learn is patience, right? Maybe
True.
that's the lesson. And I'm just saying. Maybe I'm talking to myself. But yeah,
Aye.
in this case, I would say don't settle. Just let him know, be kind, because you say he's a nice guy. Let him know that,
It's
you
not
know,
working.
yeah. I mean, and just be honest. You don't have to be cold about it, but there's no fireworks, and tell him he's got to feel that he has to know that I mean, I can't imagine that that it's no fireworks that he can't tell. Because if he can't tell, you really don't need to be with him. I'm just saying,
I don't know. You need
you
to
know.
kick rocks because
Anyway, if he can't tell that it's no chemistry, and you just like, if he can't tell, that's a problem too. I'm just
time to
saying.
leave.
I'm just saying. But
Yeah,
all I can say is just be kind with it when you do it.
true.
But
That is true.
don't, don't settle. God got something better for you and for your kids. Just, wait, and that kind of relationship is out there. A lot of people have gotten it. A lot of people have that. So it's possible. It's there. How many people are in the world? How many billion people? The one and I think I read an article that said that there's not just one person for you. So there's someone out there, probably many
Yep.
someone. There's someone that's going to cross your path that is that one that you can be like, I'm so glad that I waited for him. And it's going to be better than TV love because TV love is just actors. It's not life, it's not reality. But there is love like that. My parents had it. I haven't found it yet, but one day, keep hope alive. We all keep hope alive. I know
Yeah,
he's
we
out
got
there.
to.
Look, I know God gonna send them to me at one point, so I'm being patient too. So just follow my example. Be patient. God gonna send them to you. I'm just saying. Because of why you laughing at me? Because I know you already
I,
said I was picky, and I'm not picky.
I'm not laughing at you, baby. I'm
And
laughing with you.
really,
Yeah.
but I wasn't laughing. I'm just saying. So anyway, I truly believe that we covered that. I think we covered our hot topics. Do you have any further thoughts? Because we're gonna have the show tomorrow, and I guess nothing after tomorrow till next month, right? Because when is Carnival on Monday too, or are you gonna
No,
not be available next Monday, or it's only
car,
Sunday?
carnival ends on Sunday.
Okay, so so then we'll be able to do next Monday, but next Monday is July 1st. So
Yeah.
this is our last show. Well, tomorrow will be the last show for the month. So, you
Okay.
have anything further to tell the folks before I go?
No, we covered it all. Yeah.
So, guys, this has been an episode of the New Relationship Show. In case you missed it, let me share with you what happened in the Battle of the Sexes.
Nothing happened. You won by default.
Unfortunately, for poor cousin Howard, we were not, as much as we tried, we were not able to get a contestant for Team Blue. So Team Pink won this week by default. Because we will not be having a show next Sunday and the teams were tied, Team Pink has won the month. And, I hate to win that way, but we did win. So just had to throw it in there. So that's what happened in the Battle of the Sexes. Then we covered a few hot topics. We talked about gender roles in relationships as far as taking out the trash, cutting the grass, things like that. We talked about what it's like, and when a man asks a woman for money in a relationship. I would think repeatedly, just by the way the topic was read. And then we talked about how much you should reveal about yourself to a new partner that you've been dating maybe for about 6 months. We actually went a little further into that, and we talked about certain things that you need to know before deciding about going forward, which is, I guess, views on finance, credit, credit scores, things like that, because those do make a difference in going into something long. Then we had our advice letter where we talked about this young woman wondering if the love like you see on TV exists in real life. Cousin and I agree that better than that exists in real life. You just gotta be patient and wait for it because we both waiting. Yes, we are. So I think that was all we covered. Cuz, you want to say anything to the folks?
No, you said it all, But like we said, just be patient. Wait for Mr. Right or Miss Right. And when you find that person, you're going to be glad you waited.
Yeah, you're gonna see why you had to wait, why you had to go through whatever time period it was until that person came into your life. So, in the meantime, between time, have a wonderful remainder of the evening, remainder of the weekend, and we will see you on this show in a couple weeks. We'll see you tomorrow night in the lounge. All right?
All right?
Okay.
96.2.
Peace, y'all.
The smooth. Grown Folks Radio with Nick.
So, as I usually do, I'm gonna play my favorite song. Let me come off of Facebook Live because they don't seem to like for me to play